Good morning. It's 9 a.m., August 5th. I'll call the meeting of Price County Highway and Transportation Committee to order. Clerk will call the roll, please.
Good morning. Joe Barretka.
Here.
Doug Erickson.
Here.
Larry Palachuk.
Here.
Here.
Jeff Ulrich.
Here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jules. Items for discussion and possible action. Public comment and communications. Anyone online for public comment? *6 to unmute yourself, and you can speak with the Highway Committee. Or the county administrator or the chair, or the highway commissioner, or Sarah or Paula. Hearing none, is there any communications on any of the committee members?
Mr. Chairman, I have two communications that came in. One was for Highway C, south of 86, the Price County line, talking about rocks on the road. I believe I sent you an email about that.
Yes.
And then the other was the Highway 13 and Mackey Spur Road on the southern part of the county. They're talking about, was brought up about a dangerous intersection there and a possible consideration of a signage for a dangerous intersection.
Do you know what brought that up, Jeff? Was there an accident there?
There was no, to my knowledge,
history?
was no accidents, but it looks like, sounds like farm equipment is going across Mackey Spur Road on crossing 13. And by the time they get somewhat up to speed to get across, the southbound traffic is approaching them pretty quickly. So
the rocks on the road had been taken care of almost immediately.
Well, yeah, they were swept off, and I do have to say that even though we've had no rain, they're back, and I know it's from people cutting the corners and throwing the gravel out on the roads. Absolutely.
Well, that's not the only county trunk that we have problems on. It's. You want to handle that, Mr. Commissioner?
Yeah, well, yeah, we do have an issue with people just driving on the blacktop. J and 11, that's nonstop as well.
Yep.
They just cut the corners. We are going to try some emulsion oil on the gravel on some of those corners to try and combat it a little bit. So it's a trackless emulsion oil that's supposed to binder the gravel, but yeah, I mean, we can't sweep it every day.
No.
So
I guess my question to the committee is, I know Fall Ride is coming up, and it's a very scenic tour for that motorcycle traffic on Highway C. If there's a possibility that could be swept before Fall Ride, or some of that taken care of before then, just to make it a little safer for that motorcycle traffic.
yes, normally we always do sweep previously before the Fall Ride on that section over there. So it will be on the list of things to get done. The 13 and Spur Road, I sent that off to the DOT, but you know, ultimately, unless there's any history of accidents or anything like that, they're not much to put up a sign for nothing. So
Sure, there has to be a pattern of something going on before they can justify the sign. So yeah,
correct.
no problem. Again, just two communications brought up by constituents in that area.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Jeff. Is that all the communications we have? Okay, minutes from our May 6th meeting. What's your pleasure on that, gentlemen?
I'd make a motion to approve.
Motion by Barretka,
I'll second.
second by Spacek. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, review resolution, Town of Fifield Bridge and Culvert Aid. It's in our packet.
Yeah, so this would be also a joint project with the forestry. The forestry would be throwing some funds into this culvert replacement as well.
Are we doing the work, Roger?
I believe so, yes. Yes, it says on here, Price County will be the contractor. we've been doing a lot of projects with the forestry here lately and they, like our work. So they've actually been on ATV trail here for the last 3 days.
What are we doing, say?
Working for the Forest Service, US Forest Service.
Okay, what's your pleasure on Town of Fifield Bridge and Culvert Aid?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Erickson,
I'll second.
second by Spacek. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? So carried. Review resolution, Town of Hill Bridge and Culvert Aid. Same thing, only different spot.
Right, no Forest Service funds involved in this. It would just be town and county. We would also be doing the work for the town hill. They're very bad shape. They're actually crushed together and they've had some issues with overtopping in the past, but
I'll make a motion to approve the Town of Hill Bridge and Culvert Aid request.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Spacek, second by Baratka. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Same thing for Town of Prentice Bridge and Culvert Aid.
yeah, I'm not sure. Doug, were we gonna do that? I don't know
Yeah.
if you really, okay.
The list.
Don't be afraid to add onto that project.
Okay,
There's big bucks down there, I'm understanding. Okay, waiting for a motion and a second on that.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion by Baratka,
I will second it.
second by Ulrich. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
I'll abstain on that.
Note the abstention from Erickson. Item number 6, state debt collection agreement for unrecoverable lost revenue.
okay, I'll start out a little bit on it and then I'll let Sarah get into the meat and potatoes of it. But, so this would be like, this would be a way we could collect, lost revenue from things like fire service calls or EMS accidents, if there was damage either to anything along the highway where the individual didn't have insurance or didn't want to pay or whatever it should be, this would be a way that we could recoup those funds.
Would that include contractor unloading an excavator and tearing up the blacktop, stuff like that?
I would
Private
assume we
concern?
could probably, yes,
Correct,
as
yeah.
well.
Okay.
Does this stem from the whole winter thing still?
Kind of, yes.
Does that never get paid?
No.
And then instead, we just wrote it off and everything. So the agreement that you guys have in front of you, that's actually from other counties that do it. So there's actually quite a few highway departments throughout the counties that do it, including like Walworth, Washera, Marinette, Portage. That's how I mean, they do, some of them do a lot more, but it's anything greater than $50. You can actually go through the state, which I mean, Nick might know some stuff about this too. But this would be like another way to go through and get those collections instead of writing them off. Some of it may not be worth going for, but some of it could be. And other highway departments do it and they say they have good results. They let the state handle it. They give them all that information and the state does most of the work.
So this would cover if you went on the weekend and had to do something, this would be a way. this
So like, you know
policy
how we
would
bill
work.
the towns and everything? This would be a bill that we would send to those individuals or those companies that would do any damage and stuff. And if they didn't pay after 90 days is the minimum that this statement says, but we could go further out than that, then we would send this to the state and the state would then handle it. You may not get all recovered because there might be a settlement that they do, but it would be a way to recoup some of those costs.
It's like having a debt collector.
Yeah.
So it's sending we're not the ones that are chasing them. It's you have a third party chasing them, and hopefully you get as much as you can.
So
Would this be for like, salting roads in case of, fire where water tankers spill on the corners?
Well, that kind of, this is a part of it. So like when we have to go out on the weekends and the highway department has a big cost on sending individuals out on overtime, and then we send the bill, we need to send the bill to somebody. Cause, so you send it to the landowner, and whether or not they, decide to pay or send it off to their insurance. If they decide not to pay, at least we can go after and try to recover some of those funds that we
Sure.
lost.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
So is this gonna take the place of billing the towns directly for those services, where the state's gonna go after the individual instead of going to the town to go after the individual if you don't get paid, or how is that? How does this affect the townships? This
So
agreement?
we would send our, like Sarah said, we would send the bill directly to the individual that was the reason for the call.
Okay,
And then we would not send the bill to the township. We wouldn't have the township involved at all.
okay. Thank you.
Could this be sent to municipalities? This is only to private and.
No, I mean, not saying if you didn't pay your bill that we wouldn't.
Right, but
I don't know that if the state would go after a town or not, I
You're,
guess.
you're not gonna use the towns as the mechanism
Yeah.
to get to the private individual when you can't, like has been done in the past, I guess, is the way I look at it. So that's kind of what this agreement is doing, is putting the state in that position of what the town was put in before, is the way I kind of looking at this. Am I looking at that
Right.
correctly? Okay, perfect. Thank you. They'll be glad to hear that.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Does the state charge any fee for doing this? I
Yeah.
didn't read it in depth, so I don't know.
Under page 4, number 9.
And I would assume that fee is an admin fee, just
I
for
would
what they
assume
have
so as
into it,
well.
because obviously they're not gonna make a profit on it like a collection agency would. This would be something that is just covering their cost, just like we have a 4.5 or whatever admin
Yeah.
fee for our stuff. Yeah, yeah, okay.
And as you read it, I don't know if it's like, say we said we had $1,000 debt that we want collected. It almost sounds like they would charge the homeowner 1,150, and then it's not like we would only get 150 less. So it looks like they try to give you your full amount, but I would have to read more into it.
So are we looking for a motion to adopt this today?
Well, I don't think you can, because you'd have to go to the state and actually get the agreement. This is just an example of the agreement. This is just a,
This would be, I mean, if this is an option that the highway committee would want to move forward with and decide that this is what you'd either would like to do or not do, I guess.
Yeah, so I would say that if you want to do a motion today, it would be continue the process to get this in place. Most likely it would be a policy procedure, or some type of resolution saying we follow this, or we will work with the state to sign an agreement. So the first step would be, you guys are interested in it, and we'll do all the background work.
I would make a motion that we proceed forward with this possibility.
Motion by Baratka,
I will second that.
second by Erickson. I think it's a good deal, and it takes a lot of work away on us.
Right, and the towns and
Yes.
everybody else. I mean,
If I
it's-
may, could I revisit that question I had?
Sure.
On page 4, the 15% that you referred to, item number 9 on page 4, that's for if there's an overpayment. What if there's not an overpayment? Is there any charge otherwise?
We just charge for what our services are. We
Is this-
can't, we
Is the
can't.
state charging us anything to do this?
Well, there's gotta be something to cover their fees. I guess I
Well, I
missed that.
guess like what Nick said. It
Yeah, I
goes
think
to the-
I
to the
think that,
debtor
yeah,
to the debtor.
Kind of like a credit card charge.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you do your,
Right, yeah.
yeah, there will be an extra percentage that can either be charged to, it
Okay,
wouldn't be
so
charged to us, it'd be charged to
The debtor gets charged the,
the
Yeah.
extra
administrative
percentage,
fee.
correct?
And
Okay.
I would say when you come back, so we're just proceeding forward with the process, when you come back with a final agreement to have that information for us, just so we know exactly what it is.
Yeah, and like I said, this is just one from another
Yeah.
county, so this could change
Yeah,
based
sure.
on our information and everything and what we would do. But this
understood.
is just kind of like a basic example of
Your
what,
boilerplate to start
Okay.
with.
correct.
Okay, I beat that horse to death, so go ahead.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to continue with this. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 7. Highway
Larry,
Mc-
Mr. Chairman, can I ask one other
Sure,
question
go
on this?
ahead.
Just for Sarah and Roger, do you know, are other municipalities other than counties able to participate in an agreement like this with the state? Or if you don't know, do you have contact numbers for the state that I could share with some townships that may want to enter into something like this with the state?
I don't know offhand, but I do have a line out there for everything we're doing with this kind of, so I can ask and see who
Okay.
can participate and everything.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, I appreciate that.
yeah, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Highway mechanic recruitment. Roger?
Yeah, so currently we're having issues getting anybody to apply, anybody that's worth looking at, I should say. I guess my request is that we revisit the pay schedule for the mechanics. I mean, if you look what a mechanic gets paid, it isn't in our range. They're at the same step as operators, which is 24, I believe, starting out. And that just, I mean, for a mechanic, that just isn't the pay range.
Are they required to bring their tools at all, or?
They
how
do
is that?
bring tools. We have the bigger stuff, the bigger wrenches, the specialty tools. But I mean, they are required to have their hand tools that use for normal operations.
So when Roger and I started talking about this, I did look at surrounding counties. We pay right in range with what other counties call mechanics, but I think one thing easier to explore than just saying, look at the mechanic, because we did, right? We went through a wage study, we gave them what our mechanics do, and this is where they lined up. They lined up with other counties. What if we were going to do something, I would look at going through the job description and saying, okay, are these what we're looking for as mechanics, or are we right now, or do we have techs, right? Do you, at the $24 an hour, are you paying techs where it's you do a lot of the stuff, but you're not replacing a motor, you're not doing the big stuff? And then you take, because we have 3 current positions, do you take 2 of them and continue at what level they are, and then make a new position, which is like a mechanic, and have like, they have to have certifications, they have to have certain things. Their goal is to save us money on not sending out the big jobs. And that's how you pay for it. Because if you just change everybody to a mechanic, you're not going to be able to cover that cost potentially. So, and we've gone through the wage study twice with this position, and it's not like it bumped up and they go, whoa, you're way out. This is where it was placed. So it's hard to just say, please look at this position again, because they're probably going to come back at the same. So if we're going to do something, I would look at it more of retooling what the expectation is, what they're actually doing, and creating like you have to have a diesel certification, you have to have X, Y, or Z in order to be the mechanic, and then you pay a different rate, because that's what you're paying for, is to save you from sending a large fix off. You're saving the $10,000 instead. they're doing it in-house. That would be approach rather than just say, send off this job description. My best guess is it would come back, you're just whatever, because I called around to some of those other counties and it's comparable. It's what it is.
What is private industry paying? Do you know, Roger?
Mechanic is usually $30 or better an hour. I mean, if he's a good mechanic, and you know, some of these guys don't actually have the credentials, I guess, or went to you know, certifications. But I mean, you know, the thing is, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, if we needed something fixed, I mean, Minocqua is usually our closest place that we take trucks. We've taken them to Wausau, ready to get repaired as well. I mean, nothing's close no more to get
Right.
anything fixed.
And the going rate, I agree. We talked to some places, it's that 30 to 34. The other issue is though, those places that pay 30 or 34 don't offer health insurance or don't offer certain things. So again, that's the offset. If you're going to change anything, that I would look at some type of, because I agree, it's hard to get those mechanics here, or we're taking stuff to that Minocqua, Rhineland, or Wausau, wherever, Marshfield. You got to retool it so you make sure you're saving on those big trips.
Because when we're taking trucks, there's two guys going, one's taking them, you know, dropping them off, and we got two guys spending 4 hours transporting trucks around, get them fixed, and we got to go pick it back up. So,
If I can, are we looking to compete with those private sectors with the person with the certifications, or are we looking for somebody has mechanical aptitude that we think would be a good mechanic, but we're not looking for those certifications? That I think Nick has a point to a degree is, if that's where we're trying to pull from is the private sector and we're requiring those certifications, then I think that should be a higher wage, obviously, because they're required with certification. But if we're just pulling somebody that has mechanical aptitude, then you're going to get into, okay, if we don't raise all three positions the same amount, then you're going to get into the inner stuff where, well, they're all making the same, but I've got the certs. So I know this is complicated, and I've been in your position, Roger, so I know
Yeah.
exactly where you're going.
well, I know,
But
because
guess what's your
once
thought?
when you pinpoint between what the tech does and what the mechanic does is going to be my problem, because there are going to be times in the shop where the guy's saying, well, I'm just a tech. So, I mean, where do you draw the line on what the tech does and what the mechanic does? You know, we have guys, there's an individual in there that's very good on electrical work. When he comes in, he can, if there's bugs, anything in the system, he can find it. He's been in the transmissions. You know, he's got, you know, AC certification. I mean, ideally it would be to have another individual like that as well, but you pay for experience.
Right. The other thing too to think about too is you got to be careful on, if you go to those certifications, you're trying to save money. Do we have the equipment to do those jobs too? Like, do we have the computer systems to do all the diagnostics? Do we have
do.
all the, you know, those things are something to be, it's there. Do you retool how you set up your mechanics, or your mechanic and then a tech?
And we got the computers to log in on the trucks and do, which Tom does all the time. I mean, he's very good at what he does.
Doug had a question.
Do we require, they have a CDL, and are they required to be on call also for plowing? Is that part of that?
So mechanics generally don't get overtime unless like a truck goes down on the weekend. But yes, they are required to have a CDL, which we give them
Are they required to be on that rotation
for plowing.
for weekend plowing?
No, they are not, but they can.
They can if they so choose.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we need them that badly, I mean, they will have to, right? I mean, that's,
It's not required, it does.
no.
Mr. Chairman.
Jeff?
How much, with the new trucks, how much of it is warranty work that we have to send out because of X, Y, and Z versus stuff that the mechanic could do? Is it, we can't work on it ourselves because it's under warranty?
Right.
Is
Some
there-
stuff we do just because
It's cheaper.
it is. By the time, like I said, by the time you have two guys going over to drop it off and bring the other
Sure.
guy back, and then you got to go back and pick it up. And if it's something minor, we just fix it because it's just cheaper.
They need the truck.
Yes.
And that's fair, absolutely, yeah.
But we do have a lot of old stuff that needs work, so.
The thing is here, we're just too far from the market every place.
Right. I mean, ideally,
You gotta pay enough to get them here and then to be able to live here. You know, they're not around here, so they gotta buy something here or rent something here and find that, and that's the tough part.
you got to attract them somehow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the start would be to relook at the job description on what we expect for a technician, for a mechanic. But then I can see, somebody's going to say, well, I'm just a tech, or, oh no, I'm not going to do that. I'm a mechanic. I'm not going to put that light bulb in.
Like I said, it gets really tough on when you have people in the shop and who does what now, right? To schedule, well, it's like, well, I do I just do brakes and grease and oil changes, and then everything above that goes to this other guy? As it is now, I mean, they bring a truck in and they go through the truck, and if they do a PM, anything that's wrong with it, they fix it, and then it goes back out the door. So I just.
You're looking for a guy that can do everything
right, and
and
I-
not have to only do some things, and currently the two guys you have there can do everything together.
correct,
And
yeah.
the guy that was there could do it all.
And part of that is if you have a good mechanic in there, and so we have Joe, he's a younger mechanic. He is only gonna learn from the senior mechanics, and he's gonna get better. But if you just hold him back to just doing brakes and oil changes and greasing, he's not gonna get any better. He's not gonna advance.
You gotta let his wings open up.
Hmm.
How long has this position been open?
Few months, 2-3 months. I guess, I don't know. Time gets by. I don't know.
Yeah.
We gave his notice in May.
May.
Mike was June that he stepped into.
Okay, so it hasn't been that long, a couple months, yeah. But we had one, it was a while back, there was a mechanic, he works in Tomahawk that applied for an operator position. He's just like, I make way more being a mechanic than even what your operators pay, so. Which he would probably be, I mean, if we were, there are individuals, I think, that live in this county that you could maybe attract if the wage was there to attract them.
Because what is the starting wage? Like 25 something?
24 or something, yeah.
So within a couple of years, you're making 26, 20, because it's 2.5% increases each year on your steps for 5 years, so 10% more. So you're making 26.50 by time you're at the market, which we can hire higher than the starting wage if you have all your backgrounds. So you're making 26, 27. You got your pension, you got your health insurance, you got all that. That's the hard part, is we're competing with a lot of places that, hey, I'll throw $32 at you, but I'm not going to give you all the other stuff. And going back to, like, I understand you have 3 individuals and all 3 might be able to do some things and can't do others. And it's like, that comes down to management at that point. You don't let the one just sit there and only do the oil changes and whatever. Let them learn, because eventually that mechanic might leave and they could move up. So it's just a management part at that point. You're still going to let them open their wings and help on installing the motor or changing the transmission. It's just, there's a lead, right? There's a person who makes sure it turns out under their certifications correctly, but there's also people learning and helping. And so I think there's a way, if you're really truly struggling and you want a mechanic with certifications, you got to create that job. Right now, I think Joe, you described it where it's like, we want mechanically inclined people that can keep us moving and keep us going. And it's worked really well. And we have some really good employees that do it. And some come in with more skill set and some learn it on the job. And a lot of it's, do you want to do it? Do you have the passion to do it?
Yeah. And to that point, you know, we live in a world now of instant gratification. I want the same as that person, even though I haven't put the time in or the experience in. And Roger, you made a very good point about you're paying for experience. And I think that's where I'm looking at it at, is that we have a position that has that higher rate for the experience or the certifications or both. And then you have the ones that, like you described, Roger, that are the ones that are doing excellent at their stage and giving them the opportunity to move up. And, you know, I guess I don't have, and I guess I never have, if somebody comes to me and says, well, the days of, or I should say the days of, I only do this, regardless of what you're in, what industry you're in, are gone. I mean, there's very few industries where I just do this. That's somebody else's job. Nowadays, that's just your primary job, but you may have to do this too. That's just part of the deal. So I guess I don't have
Other
that.
duties as needed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not every time. And if it gets to be every time and that individual's excelling, then we revisit it and say, okay, now we got two guys that should be at that $30 range. But just to make it all at that, just because we need one mechanic, I don't think that's fair to the others, because then you're going to have infighting and, or I shouldn't say infighting. You're going to have discussion about, okay, I should have this because I do this compared to what they're doing. So I think we should, my personal point is I think we should look at it as a unique position to get that more, if we're looking for a more qualified person, is go after that more qualified person. Just my thoughts.
Well, you know, a lot of this went away with Act 10. With it's not my job, and I don't do that. And
Mhm.
now everybody's there to work. Nick, what is the percentage of wage that is benefits?
That's people ask that all the time. Like, what
30%,
do you add?
50%?
I mean, it's about 40% on average. The problem is if you look at a custodial person who makes $22 and they take a family plan, that's 85%, 90% benefits package. If you look at our IT person who takes no insurance, well, he's at 15%. So we use approximately 40% across the board, but
Our fringe rate is at 62, 65.
yeah, so it depends on which department because it spreads out. So for highway, we look at about 60%.
Well, I think, you know, when we have trouble recruiting and retaining people, that's probably the place we need to start, is looking at the wages.
Yeah. Actually, retention, I just saw a report, we were working on this for health insurance. Our average retention's over 9 years right now, which is really good. It's the recruitment is the problem. It's once you got to get them here, once you get them in and they see what it is and what the retirement is and all these things, you get them past that year 2, you hook onto them for a long time. So it's tough. I get it. Recruitment and two months of waiting for somebody isn't actually that bad. We've had social worker positions for a year, right? We have highway or jail and police that 6 months. So I know it's a struggle and it stinks when you're short people, but
Mhm. Well, nobody seems to look at it as a career anymore. You know,
quick job.
yeah, it seemed like when I first got on the county board, you know, we'd have 200 applications for a highway job. And they were looking at it, planning on retiring from it, and people don't look at that anymore.
Nowhere they look at that way anyway. I mean, people don't jump around, or I get it. People wanted to be here. There was 100 applications. We hear that all the time, but that's been 10 years, 8 years since
Longer than that.
yeah, 20 years since we've seen that. So
Plus, yeah.
yeah, and I don't think we'll ever get back to that. That's not what you see. I mean, one, we don't have the number of people. There's low unemployment rates in general. So people aren't jumping around or looking. Stuff.
Well, and working all hours, being an operator all hours a day and night, I mean, that's not attractive for a lot of people. So $24 an hour operator really is costing us $38.40 by the time you throw in a 60% benefit package.
Yeah. And it's super, super, I've talked to the state about this 100 times. I mean, I talked to young employees about this. I don't know how to get it across what our benefits package truly means. And unless have somebody, whether it was a family member or something that goes, my retirement was worth that, it turns out to be a good package. The young people come in and go, cool, I'm going to make $25 an hour. Wait, you're taking 6% of that. Now my take home's, wait, the government takes it. Like, it goes down quicker, where if I just go to somewhere and it's like $25 and don't lose that 6% to match my retirement. I don't have the health insurance that is $200 to $300 a month versus $600 a month somewhere else, premium plus a deductible. So I don't know how the state can let people know, hey, by the way, 30 years from now, you'll be in a great place, right? I've been here 15 years and I still don't think that way, right? It's tough to sell that to someone who's applying for a job.
Well, what does the committee think on where we should go with this? Is this something we should look into adding to the job description, or?
I was thinking maybe we give it a little more time, but then revisit this if this doesn't get filled. When I say fall, I mean, we're actually getting there, in October, and see if we can get something in place by winter.
The thing is though, and I know exactly what Roger's thinking right now, cause I thought
Gotta
the
put
same
trucks.
thing, is we got trucks coming, we got upfit on trucks, we've got winter, like
Yeah.
you talked about, is the mechanic required to be on for winter? Not a requirement, but when the truck breaks down in the middle of a snowstorm, the operator isn't fixing it, you're calling that mechanic.
And
So,
you want
it-
the mechanic to come in and
and
fix it.
exactly, and so I like the thought process of letting it go a little longer, but I think we should start looking at, I guess, as a minimum, looking at creating a position that has the higher requirements as, we can leave the third there, that if you get somebody that come in that doesn't have that experience or requirements, but you think he's a good person, you can bring him in on that. But if we're trying to pull in an experienced person with certifications to have that $30 an hour range, I think we need to have a position set at that rather than just raising all three positions. Because I think you're gonna have more issues within the department if you start jumping like that from the other staff.
Right.
That's just my thoughts. So I guess I would recommend that we look at moving forward with a higher wage position right away. Unless, Roger, you're seeing something internally that you think this is gonna blow up doing this, then it's a different conversation. But I'm not in there, we're not in there, you are. We kind of got to rely on what you're seeing a lot. I hate to put that on you like that, but I just did.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, you're listening to a commissioner's thoughts and a past commissioner's experience.
Right. I just don't know. I mean, if we're gonna spend the time on putting together a higher position with certifications, I guess we're gonna have to put together a list of certifications that we would possibly want. And there again, like I said, I mean, I don't know how many mechanics out there actually have a certification that, I mean, I know they always talk to the ASE certification. I don't know how many people actually carry that around anymore.
I've seen a couple mechanics that say they're AC certified though, and I wouldn't imagine that they are.
Yeah.
Well, we could
Can't you
take
do
a step
either or?
back. Right. So let's take a step. One, maybe we just need to clean up the current job description and advertise for what we're looking for. Because I think a lot of people get scared when they see we're looking for a mechanic, when we're looking for a mechanic, but with the farm fix it, the the guy that can, or gal, the person that has the mechanic mindset, right? That can fix stuff. So one, do we look at the current job description? It can be sent in and looked at, but I'm pretty sure when you rewrite it, it's going to come back just like the region. With that, do you, instead of calling it mechanic and not, or tech, do you call it mechanic and a lead mechanic? And the lead needs to have a certain level of
Certification or
experience.
experience. one
And
or
so
the
then
other.
you're cool.
Both.
We have this range. And by the way, we have one lead. And if you're really good, you're going to get that opportunity to be a higher marketed person. Or we have the two jobs we have with that updated job description. And hey, by the way, we have another job description that says you're going to be able to change a motor and be certified in diesel mechanic and blah, 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 or whatever certifications we think in 5 years experience. That would give that job that if you sent it in to the third party, they would put it somewhere different because that's a different market than I'm assuming what our current job description is.
Do we currently have anybody that can go through, can rebuild an engine or rebuild a transmission on site?
Well, Tom, I mean, I know Tom came from like the car industry. And he's been moving into the bigger trucks. Tom, I would believe would be able to rebuild an engine, a gasoline. Has he done a diesel engine? Yeah, I don't know that for a fact, but, would he be capable? I think he would, if you had the manuals for him, which all equipment, when we get it, does come with manuals. I mean, so, yeah. But we just even can't get any decent mechanic to apply, I guess, so.
Well, I would suggest coming up with a lead mechanic position of some sort.
Do you
And
know the
then
numbers of what the guys are
also bring it back with the numbers of the costs. If you're gonna give them $30 an hour, how much is that gonna increase the cost of the county?
Tom, we're at.
They're in that. Yeah, they're in this range here, number 6.
Same as operations.
Mr. Chairman, is there, are the job descriptions posted online someplace where we can read it? Jennifer, just so I can familiarize myself with what we currently have.
Yeah, I think the ad is actually currently on the Price County website.
True. That not all of ours are online. It's when they're being advertised, they're online. But
Sure.
if you want, Jennifer would be able to get that for you, or Laura.
Thank you.
And I
But do
think-
you even think a couple dollars an hour is gonna make that much of a difference to draw anybody in?
Potentially. I mean, if there's somebody that lives in the county and drives to Tomahawk every day, would $2 an hour make the difference? Over 40 hours,
So we got Tom back.
yeah.
No, I got Tom back for you.
Oh,
I went and talked to Tom.
sure.
No, I did. I ran into him one time when we were going through the whole raise thing and he had went over there. I'm like, you might want to come apply back again.
Yeah.
And I did. It was good. I was glad he came back because then I knew
was
he
that
was very,
raise that you
yeah,
did.
I know. Yeah, that was the, yeah.
Get
Yes.
back.
Yeah. Yep. I
Yeah,
know.
Cause the next grade up is a $2.20 roughly jump. So control point would be around to that 30.
Sure.
30 range. Some people do live check to check. So even though, I mean, they don't think of benefits so much, they have bills to pay and that's what they're after, so.
Is this something that should be taken up at admin?
Yeah, I mean, first we have to have a plan and then admin
Job
would,
description
yeah,
from highway.
yeah. admin could discuss it. Admin would have to be the one that's like, yep, send it off to get the job description reviewed, the market review. I would think let's clean up the job description, make sure we're advertising for the right thing. Then we look at, is there a lead? Is there something, a different approach? Just moving it's not going to help. And that I would not start that. Admin would probably not support that one, because then when the jail comes and goes, we haven't found somebody for a month. I think you need to bump everybody up a step, because that's not how we work. And with the wage scale, it's really, we've always been frustrated with this, is when you put every job on a wage scale, everybody goes, well, I shouldn't be compared to a jailer. I had to do this. Well, yeah, but the supply and demand of an individual that's available to do that creates the market, not what you do comparably to somebody else. And it's a really hard concept to step back and understand sometimes, or accept is probably a better word.
Well, if you do a lead position, you're gonna have to be in the $30 an hour range, because you're gonna have to keep up with.
Yeah, lead would be
Yeah.
a different
Yeah,
situation. We
you know,
have
you're gonna have
leads
to
in
get close
other.
to Mike
Yep.
and Vance's, ability, because they're gonna be, I mean, Mike looks over a lot of equipment now,
Yeah.
I mean, that Dan did before, but, I mean, now you're talking a guy that's gonna not only work on stuff, but he's also gonna have to train and teach younger, or these other guys, some things too. So that definitely changes it. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. But where we're at here is, if we're gonna create a new position or change a title, it's gotta go through admin anyway. So for the time being, I think what Nick has proposed, as far as looking at the application, cleaning it up, seeing if we have to change something there to make sure we're advertising correctly, and then start thinking about that lead position that we can present to admin to move forward here in the next couple months, if after cleaning up that application, we see no change, then we can move on it. We'll have everything in place to move on it quickly. And it still won't be quick enough for Roger, I know that.
It's never
But-
quick. It's
but
never.
at least we're positioning ourselves so that we can move faster than we're sitting here in December talking about the same thing because we didn't get proactive on it.
The other thing too,
That's my thoughts.
we probably want to grab the job descriptions from the surrounding couple counties, just to say, why are they, like, I talked to Russ County for something else, and I just said, hey, how are you doing on mechanics? They're like, we have some really good ones. It's where maybe their job description is something different, or it just might be they had individuals living in the community that said, this is what I want to do, and that's their career. I talked to, like I said, a couple counties. I think it would help to see what they're doing, if they're maintaining those positions, or are they struggling too? We can work on all that. When I say we'll have Jennifer and Roger and Sarah.
well, I think Roger's alluding to the fact that he knows an individual. Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
Oh, it's like you said, if it's going to be a lead position, it's got to be in that 30 range to be, because there's a lot more responsibility and expectations put on them than to be there. Probably have that for September. You got all month of August. It's only the 5th. 26 more days.
We'll start collecting stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean, Roger and them.
Well, I'm sure you don't want it for October, because then October puts it November and December, and before you know it, it is January, and you still don't have anybody.
October,
Mhm.
start switching trucks over.
Yeah. Even if everything went through and you could find someone and get something out there in September, you're still ain't gonna have anybody hired until late October at the earliest.
Right.
Even if someone applied today, it takes a month.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So just a quick question. So mechanic staff, the shop in particular. So we've got our superintendent. Does the superintendent have somebody under him as an assistant? And then we have 3 mechanics, or we just have the superintendent and then 3 mechanic positions? I guess
What's the structure?
what's the structure? Yeah, yeah. Cause I know in the past, we've pulled people out for part-time doing this, doing that. I don't know what you got going there. So that's just why I'm asking, what is our shop staff right now from superintendent down to mechanics?
Superintendent, then we have the two mechanics. Bill Johnson assists, you know, in the shop doing some of the fire extinguisher checks, the fuel inventory, you know, some inventory stuff. And then he's kind of like a floater,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
so we take him out in the field or whatever we need to do with them.
Right, yeah.
But he does some small engine stuff and keeps that stuff running. Other than that, I mean, yeah, right
That's
now.
acceptable.
And we have a part-time guy coming in 2 days a week.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Well, that's something that you and Jennifer can work on, Roger?
Yeah. We'll reach out to other counties and see how they're doing on
Okay.
staffing with,
Will be more information in September then.
sure.
Okay.
Don't forget to do those 3 culverts too.
3 culverts.
Bridge and culvert aid.
Oh, yeah.
Sneak that in there.
Yeah, we'll get that done too. We have to wait for everything to approve though before we can
I
do it
know,
though.
I know. You got
You
a
guys
good,
gotta keep moving on.
yeah. You got a good crew there right now.
Okay, that's an information item. No action needed. Patch trailer purchase. Did
Yes,
ours blow up again?
no,
It melted down.
so, I think when Joe was there, he bought one new patch trailer. The one was supposed to schedule to be junked, which we still kind of use it, but it is junk. So, I'm requesting, if we could purchase a new, patch trailer. Got a quote from Step Manufacturing, put together with everything would be just under $45,000. Currently in our equipment budget, we have 341,000 and some change. That includes the new truck, the new plow truck, which hopefully it comes in before the end of snow season. But so we're sitting pretty good on our balance, I guess. And the patch trailer has been in our 5-year plan for quite some time now.
Is it to the point where it's dangerous to be around?
It's just rotten and materials falling through the bottom in some spots. It's just it's the end of its life. Yeah, and you know when springtime comes, it's nice to have all 3 wagons going at the same time because it's just hard to keep up and try and keep everybody happy out there.
Would you be looking at a Crafco?
This is a Step Manufacturing, similar to the one that we have now. This one would be a gravity feed. The last one we got was a dump and made for hot. You could put hot mix in it. This one isn't quite as extravagant.
Well, what's your pleasure on that, gentlemen?
So funding wise, we're sitting fine.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, Joel, I mean, we have 341,000 sitting in the equipment fund that isn't scheduled to be used for anything yet this year.
Yet this year.
So the roll,
Shouldn't affect anything for
yeah,
next
so the
year,
roll,
big-
the roll,
Huge, like, so.
yeah.
Obviously, so just if we're pulling it now, is there something coming next year that is an issue also that we have to address? That this funding may have been earmarked for at that point, so.
No,
Is
so actually, so I mean, we have accumulated funds through the point, so we're not pre-using money
Okay,
actually anymore.
perfect.
So when next year's budget cycle comes, this will grow again, correct, Sarah?
You're still using this year's funds, but it earmarks everything that we are going to get in there. You have to minus a little bit extra for that. So next year, we will have funds in there to purchase another truck. Our depreciation, this doesn't account for anything extra beyond depreciation, what we've already sold. Our depreciation looks about just so everybody can hear me. Our depreciation is about 500,000 right now. So not looking at, and everything we've sold this year is 24,000. So with everything we've already purchased for this year or going to purchase, like the truck, it comes out to be a little less than that. It's 333,000 and some change. So that would be, so next year we'd grow that 500, be able to purchase a truck and some extra stuff because you'll have 500,000
Okay.
going back in.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yep, perfect. Thank you. I would make a motion to approve the purchase.
You've heard the motion by Baratka,
You printed me off this morning.
Second.
Remember I told you.
And
Oh.
just,
second by Ulrich.
just so Jeff knows, so the reason this item is coming forward is the way the equipment fund works is we have a 5-year plan. Everything on the year that we're talking, they could just go and do it. They don't have to come back. If it's something on years 2, 3, 4, 5, and they have the funding, they have to come to this committee and say, I would like to move an item up to this year, exchange it, or
Sure.
we have the funding. So that's the reason this is here normally, because you don't approve you approve one time this year's list.
Yep.
If there's a change to the list, that's where it has to
It's
come
come
to
back.
this group.
Thank you.
So you'll see that in the 5-year plan, which we'll go over.
Mm-hmm.
We have, when it comes to equipment, we have 2 different lists, and we've never really figured out a good way to fund both lists.
Okay, any further discussion on the patch trailer? If not, I'll call for the question. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 9, 5-year capital improvement plan. Roger?
Yep, so I shared, of course, this is all contingent to funds being allocated to the highway department for road improvement projects. So I mean, if at whatever point in time the county decides to not fund as much highway improvement plan, things would change, but this would be staying at the same rate that the county is staying at for funding the roads. In the next few years, there'll be some jumping around just to try and appease more public.
I thought N was next year.
Well, if D is falling apart.
Yeah, I get that, but also I haven't been on C since this spring, but did C get really bad all of a sudden that it got switched? Because I think when we were on N last fall, it was way worse than C. I get it. There's not as much traffic, but
Yeah, there's not as much traffic.
but still that end of the county ain't got a lot for a long time. So
Well, I know we did rut pave it, but so the thing with C is going to joint up with A, which is going to be right in the Village of Prentice.
okay,
So cost wise, we're gonna get very good pricing because you're not gonna have that mobilization charge as high as so they're gonna go right from A right on to C.
okay.
And it is bad. Condition of C down to Clausen Road is in need of it.
So what? Okay, and then why are we paying for? I guess we're paying for Prentice because it's A in town. Is that like the same thing like we did here with
So that's an
when we would have
STP.
done with W years ago, Joe, where we do
We do right through the center.
eat and then they pay the rest?
Correct. That's what happens in Prentice. So it's gonna be the main line through from 8 south to 13, that whole section. But when we go through Prentice, anything in the outside lanes, the Village of Prentice will be responsible for
But that's not getting redone this year. It's
next
gonna be
year.
gravel, but that's gonna be gravel though. Aren't they tearing it up right now?
I think
They're
doing
putting water.
temporarily
Oh.
put blacktop on.
Yep, they are gonna.
Oh, so that's gonna be temporarily patched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Hopefully sometime soon.
Okay. Well, the last time I was down there a month ago and they were,
Oh,
it
it's in the same-
was,
Same spot.
oh, is it? Oh, and the excavator hasn't moved much? Okay. It looked like it wouldn't move for a few days then.
Yeah, supposedly that's a new company out of Ashland that started up by, yeah.
What is the name of the contractor?
I want to say it was JB or something, or I don't recall. It was, yeah,
JBC, that's what's on the machine.
Yeah.
The brand name.
yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
They aren't doing real well?
It just seems to be taking a long time. They started this in May
Oh, wow.
and
They only had 100 feet to go and they still got 80 left.
And the weather's been very good. I mean, it's not like.
yeah, they had a rough start, but since then the weather turned really good. For
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it was a wet start, and then I came out there and seen some things and kind of changed up their operation, the way that they were going about things.
So now they're afraid to work in Price County.
I think so.
Okay, on to the next thing, rut paving. Do you have a idea of what's getting rut paved? See, I mean, there's 184, 150, 266, and
You do it until you run out. Of
yeah,
money.
well, yeah.
Pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, so like we did, and I mean, we did $50,000 worth and what we could afford. I mean,
Yep.
it is kind of, there as well. It's kind of, okay, if we have the time to fit it in and it works with the plant, we can do much depending on where these other projects fall in, how much money we can spend on.
But if we did 50,000 on N, that, I mean, that 184 and the 150 and the 266 seems like a lot of that. So is there anywhere in particular that it's gonna go?
So like I'm looking at some portions on J, because J's out is out for a while. I was gonna do some rep paving on J this year. And there are times where things just kind of blow up or something goes bad where it's like it might not even be a rut pave. It might be a
Be a
full
full patch,
pave,
sure.
a paver patch type of thing.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, it
I
gives
gotta
us
ask
a
the
buffer.
questions.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
What's your pleasure on our 5-year capital improvement program?
This would be going to the budget process so that when the
Correct.
board would approve the budget, they're approving the 1 in 5 year.
I think you got,
Roughly 14 miles a year is what you.
but on 28, you have prep paving for 29, county H, but then you have N as 20 in paving 29.
Might have.
So just, I don't know. And then H isn't till 30. So I want to check that.
Okay. We can update that before it goes to the whole.
We have time to get this to the.
That's
budget
fine. I just,
process,
so then that,
This
so
is your
then
first kick at it.
you're putting N all the way back to 30 then? Correct?
Yeah, unless there's gonna be part of. N and J. Where was
On your
that?
die.
Yeah, J and 28.
G and 28 and 29.
Yeah.
There's a portion of it
Both, yeah.
in both.
Yeah, I did get some CHIP funds. I just received that email earlier this week. 275-ish thousand for doing that J and N through.
Through Canon
Correct, yeah.
to mix right or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just double check those numbers or the year, the dates and stuff to be, so we get the right thing then. Yeah, cause then in 31, you got prep N and J for paving back here.
You want to continue on with the equipment update for the 5-year plan, Roger?
So we have, yeah, when it comes to the equipment, the trucks and equipment, we have basically two different lists. We have the yellow or the equipment and then the trucks. Which we do kind of lack on replacing new equipment. We do have trouble with funding that as we have been carrying over funds from one year to the next. But I don't know, at some point we really need to consider on what we're gonna do on the equipment, because trucks have gone up extremely high, plow trucks.
So what are we on trucks? I know we had some extra trucks there. Are we threw in one extra a couple
So
of years
one
ago.
is borrowed and one comes out of the regular equipment fund. Cause the last bids were at 261,000 for a plow truck with the package.
361.
Or 361, yeah. Which if we have our depreciations at 500,000, it doesn't leave you much left on the equipment side to purchase things. Besides a pickup and a
So
few.
you're looking for 2 plow trucks a year yet? Is that?
Correct, yeah, cause we're still, the fleet is still aged. On this list, I did talk with Mike, and I think at some point we're gonna take one of the older Western Stars and turn that into a used tanker truck, so in 2028, that we possibly wouldn't need to spend that amount of money. I mean, initially we were looking at potentially like a milk truck or something on that order to get, and we're gonna try and reutilize one of the older trucks when they come off the fleet.
Sandblast it good, repaint it and put a tank on it.
Yeah.
In the loader we put off last year
Correct.
and this year, and actually won't be until 27.
Unless we can find funds between here and there. Or you can.
Larry said Prentice has got a bunch of extra.
Oh, that's right.
I heard him say it.
We'll let you use it once in a while.
Yeah.
Really nice one at the airport.
Yeah,
Not big enough.
it would do the job, except for we can't touch it for 10 years.
Good, it's gonna be somewhat salt free then.
Not officially.
Not officially, yes. We were at the point one day where I thought about stealing it.
Not on record.
Borrowing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the yellow equipment program as presented
Forwarded to
or forwarded to the budget process. Sure.
Did you get the one with the truck and the plows on
No.
it too?
And
That
no,
one got missed.
On the same spreadsheet.
She made,
She didn't print it.
no, never got printed.
no. I was say I didn't see a truck. Next is the facilities.
This is your
Right, yeah, cause I went,
plan. This is your yellow equipment plan. It's on the same.
oh, she must have not clicked on the other side, that's why it didn't print off.
Yeah, Carrie just said there was a second tab that didn't get printed. I don't know if today you necessarily need a motion to approve any of these. I think this is review. This is the first kick. Next month, we'll want to have something where we're final and saying this is what you guys are recommending as a committee to go to that budget process. So you can motion to approve this, but it might change a little bit in the next month. Like you said, that or there was the HN, whatever the paving one.
Well, yeah.
And
Just
then
revisit those.
we'll have another list of equipment too.
I think we should have a motion just to get the wheels in motion.
There's a lot of steps left. You're not approving, you're not giving permission to do anything today. You're just moving it along in the process when
Pass it on
really.
in the budget cycle.
Yeah, and then the problem is like technically you're gonna change some of these for the next meeting. Like if you do look at that what was it, N and
N and J, yeah, the years are
So-
messed up, but that's,
Well,
It's
it can be an
it's just the
information item
prepping.
then.
yeah.
It was the prepping side.
Okay, on facilities improvement program, is there any questions on that? Old 13, what is a bunker?
oh yeah. good
Oh,
question.
so like we put products in so that it's getting those concrete blocks and putting products. So like,
Oh, okay.
riprap is a big one. So riprap is very expensive. Instead of dumping it on the pit floor and chasing it around and getting it dirty and losing it in the pit floor and in the pit bank, we put it in bunkers. Just because it's an expensive material to lose. You know, because we go
lose all
to
of it.
Jump River to get it for the blasted, you know, the clean. Also when we mix salt sand, you know, we mix separately for towns. So we can have a different, there again, I mean, everything's contained. And also at some point when we chip seal, right now, the chips are down in the airport pit. So you go through a gate, it's kind of one lane road. So when trucks come in and out, it's, I don't know. There again, you're just picking it up, chips off the floor, and you don't want them contaminated. So now that we have the old sand pile pad that's blacktop, I mean, we can stockpile our chips there and load them up off the blacktop instead of picking them.
Otherwise, you're gonna lose for sure 10%.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, product is getting expensive, more expensive all the time. You don't want to lose it.
Life.
Any other questions on the facility improvement program?
Nope.
If not, we'll move on to item 10. Department reports. Roger?
So for me, they released a LISIP list, which that was the local small structure improvement program. Price County did get awarded 6 projects. There's 430 applications. They awarded 101. So we got the town of Hackett, Bennett Road did get a grant. Town of Hill, Altman Lake, that concrete bridge, town of Knox, East Branch Road, town of Georgetown, Knight Lane, town of Fifield got Sailor Lake Campground, and then the town of Spirit got German Settlement Road. So part of this is I'm sure they're gonna come forward with bridge and culvert aid for the rest of this is paid at 90-10, so there'll be a 10% left over, which I'm sure all the towns will come forward with bridge and culvert aid on the rest of the 10%. So what that would look at for the county would be $88,000 roughly that'd be requesting for bridge and culvert aid in the future here, possibly for next year.
Yeah, and just so
Here,
those,
but then that goes into the 28 budget, right?
yeah, so just so everybody understands, bridge and culvert aid is not like coming out of our budget. It's a above and beyond the levy. So when you guys approve it, you're saying we're gonna collect from above our levied amount, above our operational costs to those who participate to make that cost less for those municipalities. It's you have the ability to cap it. You have the ability to go yes or no on, we've had up to 350,000 one year down to 16,000. So it's kind of that up and down each year. Just so people understand, it's not like we now can't pave or do something. It's above and beyond our levy. We're just the bank. So we're a bank for the year and then get reimbursed through that process.
Are they allowed to use other funding sources with that state funding?
Like if they were to use like chip funding or something.
Some of those grant fundings, you're not allowed to double up with other public funding. I just would verify that that's correct. I don't know for a fact. It's just, I'm asking the question, so.
Right. So I think that that did go round and round, and I think at the end they do allow it now. I mean, there was it was it was on the state side when there was state oversight. You know, none of these projects are gonna have state oversight because it's all gonna be local projects. The money's gonna be awarded kind of like a CHIP fund. But it saves the county a lot of money because there's 3 projects that are $500,000 apiece. So, you know, they're all concrete bridges, so it's all paid.
What's gonna happen on Bennett Road? Is that gonna be a pipe or a bridge?
Well, when it comes, so that's the other part of it, depending on how in-depth you want to get with the DNR. I mean, as long as you replace in kind, the paperwork is very easy. And then the DNR really doesn't have a whole lot to say. And looking at the structures, I mean, Contact makes an identical structure it's aluminum. I think it would last forever, which would be a little more, cost effectiveness on that compared to a concrete bridge would be. I mean, it'd be a lot cheaper than going to a concrete bridge. And then you would have the inspection part of it that the town would have to pay out all the time when it comes with it. So, and just being a single lane road, I don't know that it would pay to get the expense of a concrete bridge in that single lane road.
Okay, thank you. Is that all you have for the commissioner report?
Yeah, well, I don't know, I did, or it's been a lot of months, I guess, since we've talked, but, I did spent a day with American Asphalt doing an environmental, program inspection of their portable plant facility up there. That was kind of neat. Just basically how they go about, making sure everything that comes out of the plant is clean. They have, big dust collector which was kind of neat to know that they check it at 2 a.m. because they put something in there and they check a screen and whatever color that is, it's got to be super dark. So that's why they do it at 2 a.m. They do it every couple weeks. They check to make sure that all the bags are functioning properly. So, they do have a good list. So, I mean, anybody in the county that's concerned about environmental, as far as asphalt plant, what they put out, they're very clean running. So they do a good job at keeping up with that. I went to the summer highway conference. Other than that, just pretty much day to day. What would be on the next one? Airport. Hal Davis, they did BOA inspection, the 3-year inspection. There are some more trees that need to be removed, some obstructions. There are some on the Ginger's property that we're gonna have to
Helicopter out.
possibly, I don't know. We'll work on that. And there's some more of the northern lakes. Becker Hoppy is working on communication with everybody that's that we would have to cut or top. That's not on airport property. So
On the Ginger's property, is that something they planted since the last go around, or is this something that just grew up?
it just grew up. So they are big mature trees. They must have just got a little taller since the last time that they did what do they call it, Brian? Egg irrigation? Something, yeah. Yeah.
You can't keep them trimmed with your airplane?
Only once.
Well, if you catch it just right, you might get them all.
One time.
Colin Davis at the BOA, he's a project manager. He informed us that crack filling and top coat projects for the airport won't be happening until next summer. They didn't get everything completed to have the crack filling. So the crosswind runway is gonna get crack filled, but not this year. So that'll be next year.
Is it getting rough?
I don't fly,
Is it-
so I don't.
More speed.
Yeah, better suspension.
More speed, you won't feel it.
How's the grass runway? Is that better? No. I just didn't know if it would be better to land and take off on the grass runway.
You don't get any cracks in that.
The runway, the grass runway that is quote unquote parallel to the 624 crosswind pavement runway is too short for most planes. That's more for ultralights.
Oh, okay. They had some issues with the Z-Track zero turn mower. They had repaired that. That was purchased in 2006. I don't know if that's something where grass cutting equipment can be purchased by the BOA through BOA funds or not.
I don't think so.
Oh, so at some,
creative,
It'll take 5 years to get it,
yeah.
like the loader.
somehow tied to snow removal and then it's covered.
Grass
Oh,
might be 10
right.
feet by then.
Yeah. So at some point, that is a piece of equipment that the county is gonna have to think about updating at some point. I forget how many hours are on that John Deere, but it's quite a
20
few.
years old, so it's probably got a lot of hours on it.
Yeah,
Is that John Deere?
yeah,
It's a big mower.
it is a big mower. They cut a lot of grass all on the runway and everything along with that thing, but. They've been doing a lot of mowing. The big vertical gate, quit working this winter. There's some loop issues when they did that. They've been working on waterproofing that to try and alleviate that problem. They did something, I guess they got it to work. They had a lot of fuel sales because they had their old inventory. Their price was fairly low, so they had a lot of people come and visit just to get fuel. But now they're back up in with everybody else. The Hamburger Social is going to be August 13th from 5 to 7 p.m. Cordially like to invite everybody at the from the county to come and attend. The highway update, we assisted Lincoln County with paving
Can
YY.
we pause it for any updates on the new taxiway and hangars?
There was potential of breaking ground for the T hangars this fall, Carl said, but we haven't heard anything back from the contractors as far as if they're actually going to or not. So, otherwise everything's gonna happen would be next year. Nothing. Yeah, it's been bid and went through
Well,
the,
I know it's in process. I just wondered if anything.
Did Hatari get it?
Hutari got the taxi lane, but did not get the buildings, another contractor.
Hatari got something there.
Yeah, I forget who the contractor was for the T hangar. but-
Market and Johnson.
Correct, yes.
Well, when the funds are getting released in October, that's kind of when you're hoping to have everything wrapped up for the construction season around here.
Right.
They maybe don't know that in Madison.
No. We assisted Lincoln County with paving YY. That was 8 to 11 trucks. So that was a part of that ARIP project, joint project between Lincoln and us ourselves. That is still not yet complete. We're waiting on shoulder gravel. There's a issue with pit permitting, so which Jason said they should be wrapping up here shortly. So he's expecting to have crushing done within the next few weeks. We replaced a large culvert on Spring Drive for the town of Worcester. Replaced a large culvert on Forest Road 149 for the town of Einstein. Installed a 40-foot box culvert on the U.S. Forest Service ATV trail in the town of Fifield. That's what they're working on currently. Replaced a culvert on Pass Road for the village of Catawba and paved it. Changed 13 culverts on County Highway D in Brantwood and paved it and paved. Paved 3 culvert cuts in Timms Hill. Mowed all the state and county highways. Swept all the town of Elk pavement. Boom mowed on K. Bridge repairs on Highway 13 bridge at Old Eight Prentice. Shouldered Solberg Lake Park. Routed and crack filled Smith Lake Park, the courthouse, normal building. Hauled 14,000 tons of crushed gravel on H and D for lifts. Staked H and D for construction, graded and compacted behind the pulverizer. It went well. We had some complaints, but we worked through it. There were some dust complaints and rock complaints and a few others, but after it got pulverized, the dust, of course, settled down quite a bit. But
Do you remember how much you got for that culvert in the town of Worcester, scrap wise?
so,
Contentious meeting last week about that.
which I heard, so how it works is, we go at the end of the project, of course, because the town of Worcester didn't have no way of hauling it. So we took it back, and what we do, we hauled it down to Medford to Altered. And then when we get back, our time gets charged to the project, but then ultimately at the end, that price of the culvert comes off the bill of the project. The scrap price comes
Okay.
off.
Maybe that could be relayed. I mean, I listened to the meeting last week and there's all sorts of stuff going on over there. So yeah, they were giving away money and whatnot, and it was interesting to listen to. So
If the price of the scrap culvert, it's what's keeping it held together, they're in rough shape.
as the one supervisor said, it was thousands of dollars that were given away to the county. I highly doubt that.
It wasn't that big of a culvert. Do you know what the price was? What we got for scrap metal? And there again, I mean, by the time you transport it.
That's what the chairman and the other board member said, but
Yeah.
the other one was
They drop it off right in front of their garage doors. They can do it as they please.
Right. Yep, that's the thing. So when we come out to do a project, it's complete and it's done when we leave. I mean, we're not gonna leave garbage all over the place.
Is it town of Worcester?
Yeah. We couldn't even get them to come and pick up the old guardrail that was laying there.
They're busy driving around.
All right, while she's looking at that, I'll go through the shop update. Buildings and grounds, came and installed the new roof on the sign shed. That's that little shed up there next to the salt shed right in the Phillips shop here. There was actually holes in the roof. So, the shop's catching up on routine maintenance and repairs. They're starting to go through the V boxes for this next winter season. The two new plow trucks are at Scott's Repair in Schofield. Waiting for the body build parts and the plow equipment, which is scheduled to be delivered in September. The plow equipment, when you order it, is 230 to 260 days out. So, and the bodybuilders don't order the stuff till the truck shows up, which is unfortunate though.
Well, you really can't blame them if,
No,
a delay comes on the truck and they're expected to pay for that stuff.
yeah,
$615.40.
How much was it, Sarah?
$615.40. Nice. And that's because there was also dirt, so they do take
Deduct.
off for if it's dirty.
Yeah.
And what was our transportation fee?
$675.50. We lost $60.
Left it in the ditch.
Tell them you give us 65
then
bucks
it's a roadway
and we'll
obstruction.
call it square.
Then who's liable for that?
Property.
Yeah, but that's when you get attorneys involved.
Yeah.
Are you finished with?
The dams, I guess you wanna, overall status of the dams are, condition are good. s-
Any water being?
Not much.
Yeah, we haven't heard much. I'm sure Solberg's probably almost out of water. But yeah. But we have some concerns on the concrete deterioration on it. Dave is seeking some, prices on inspections for a dive inspection on the backside and looking at the front side to get a better evaluation of that dam. So it's gonna be out of turn from the DNR inspection, just so it'll be a little cheaper, so we don't have to go through all the DNR hassle, but yeah, other than that, yeah, life is good.
Okay, I'll accept the department reports. We're on to item 11, vouchers. What's your pleasure on the vouchers, gentlemen?
It's 500.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Paul, you had a question?
If I could just make a comment to the department.
Sure.
After the fact, I'm sorry. I probably should have said this during public comment.
Well, you're not considered public.
I'm considered
You're one
other
of the
things,
old
that's for
boys.
sure. I did want to say that if you're on Facebook, you've seen a lot of negative stuff about our road work and comments. And of course, it's just people who have no idea what really goes into road work. But I just wanted to say I live smack dab in the middle of HD and Martins Drive, as does Sarah. And so we've been through it all. We've seen it all. Yeah, the dust was terrible, but you had no rain and that didn't help either. But for the most part, I just want to say, there was a comment from a constituent. He had told me that he talked to, I don't know which trucks were going through, so many go through, that there was some washboarding on D that went past his house, and it was pretty bad. So he just talked to the guys, and they were all very nice. He said, I got up in the morning, the washboard was out. So that was, they had taken the time to grade that out. And, you know, they've been good about doing everything here. We had a funeral procession that was going up through the Dover curve. And one of our supervisors that morning of the funeral just mentioned to the guys, you know, we have just to let you know, there's going to be a funeral procession coming through there. And they were starting to do some of the blacktopping. And they actually, by the time the funeral procession came through, they had one lane going through that was blacktopped. And that was not even anything that was expected. So that was very appreciated as well. Also, really pleased with how the Dover curve has come out and turned out. I just amazed. I don't know how you guys see all that stuff, but it's pretty good. So all in all, I can't say anything. You know, they have things to work with. They've been very good with people coming through there. I know I would pull up to either Ethan or Ileana or a lady this morning and just always would say, which way would be the best way for me to go so I'm not bothering anybody. I did like going through Musser Loop, and I can do it in 8 minutes. But we're not saying that. Anyway, so that was just one place that was easy to go through. So good job, Roger, to your group. I just want them to know that everything on Facebook is not what it should be. So thank you very much.
It's not all true on Facebook. You heard that here first. Thanks, Paula. Okay, we're down to vouchers. What's your pleasure on the vouchers?
So moved, motion to approve vouchers.
Motion by Ulrich,
Second.
second by Baratka. Any further discussion?
I just wanted to make mention too, if you went through the vultures and you looked at plow blades, the price of those. So they did go up extremely high this year. Carbide is apparently now very hard to get. There's only one mine left that's mining carbide. So a blade that was $250 last year is now $800.
Oh my gosh.
So, and we're probably going to see this price reflect next year, even in pulverizing, because the bit on the pulverizer was $5 and now they're $30. And there's a lot of bits on a pulverizer. It's not just one. Yes. So just so if you guys seen that, that's why the plow blades are so high. And Sarah is she's on machinery management and she is gonna fix that, correct?
We will try. We're having a meeting about it.
If you can, if you can pull that off.
That's my question.
So now the real reason comes out why we did H and D. It's for Sarah, right? Didn't you move on back out there? No, you live out there, right?
She lives in Prentice now.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You moved down there. That's right. Your sister moved out back out there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. And then it was for Paula. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded on vouchers. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Just one more thing before we go to adjourn. Are we planning a road tour this fall, Roger?
Yes, if the committee would like.
Maybe
Certainly.
for our October meeting, we could plan a road tour.
We surely can.
November, maybe we could get in on some snow removal right away.
We could maybe get a bus with a plow.
Yeah. Okay, that's just something to think about for our October meeting. With that, our next meeting is set for September 2nd. And we've exhausted our agenda and I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.